This is not just about military control or strategy. It is about forced displacement and ethnic cleansing, actions that stand in complete violation of international law. Yet, on August 8th, Israel's Security Cabinet approved a controversial plan to occupy Gaza City, the largest city in the coastal enclave. As the map shows, this is one of the remaining areas outside of the 86% of Gaza that is not under evacuation orders or designated as a no-go zone by the UN. The plan has 5 stages: disarm Hamas, return all hostages, living or deceased, demilitarize Gaza, establish full Israeli control over the besieged territory, install a new civil administration, neither Hamas nor the Palestinian Authority. But Prime Minister Netanyahu, a day earlier, said that Israel intends to take control of the entirety of Gaza, not just Gaza City.
Are you saying today that you will take control of the entire 26-mile Gaza Strip, as it was 20 years ago to this month in 2005?
Well, we don't want to keep it. We want to have a security perimeter.
What became very relevant is that there is a group of people in Israel, in government too, settlers, who want to return to there because until 2005, there were 22 settlements there with 7,500 people. And in August, September 2005, the Israelis withdrew from there. There is a demand of them to return and to rebuild settlements there. If the Israelis occupy the 25 remaining areas of the Gaza Strip, then they are in full occupation of the Strip. And there are rules which apply, because they will have to run the place. If they occupy everything, they have to provide food, they have to make sure that clinics work. There are no clinics in the Gaza Strip. Everything is destroyed. There are very few of them. The Israelis, if they occupy the rest of the Gaza Strip, they have to make sure that schools operate. There are no schools. Everything is destroyed. And they must be very foolish to do something like that.
Hours after the cabinet's approval, Israel bombed the west of Gaza City and amassed dozens of military vehicles near the Nahal Oz crossing, even though the plan still requires full cabinet approval.
It's also very dangerous for the hostages. 20 of the Israeli hostages are still alive. And if the Israelis decide to occupy the Gaza City and the camps around it, they might kill the hostages. The Israelis have already killed 42 hostages. So to say we are going to occupy Gaza City is to say we don't care much about the hostages.
The opposition to Netanyahu's plan is growing both internationally and within Israel. Germany, a longtime ally of Israel, suspended military equipment exports to Tel Aviv. The EU called for reconsideration and warned of repercussions for EU-Israel relations. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres warned against deepening catastrophic consequences for Palestinians.
We've seen the huge amount of victims only in the last 2 years, and the level of humanitarian suffering is beyond imagination. Any decision to expand Israel's military operations in Gaza are deeply alarming.
Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump gave a green light to the plan, saying it is up to Israel.
Israel has a right to defend itself. It has a right to determine how it does that.
The plan is also part of Tel Aviv's long-term vision to displace Palestinians from their homeland. In March, Israel's Security Cabinet approved a proposal for the so-called voluntary transfer of Palestinians to other countries. Just last month, Tel Aviv unveiled plans for a so-called humanitarian city in the ruins of Rafah, a site many describe as nothing less than a concentration camp, cutting Palestinians off further from the outside world and the rest of Gaza. Experts warn that the new occupation plan could push more Palestinians into this camp, deepening an already catastrophic humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
If the Israelis proceed with the plan to occupy Gaza City and the camps around it. For the 1 million Palestinians who live there will be a lot of misery, because what the Israelis will try to do is to relocate them. And to relocate 1 million people means hunger.
Since October 2023, the Israeli military has issued at least 60 evacuation orders, averaging one every 5 days. Some have been displaced 20 times or more. 2.1 million Palestinians have already squeezed into tiny areas. 310,000 living in North Gaza, 740,000 in Gaza City, 400,000 in Deir al-Balah, 620,000 in Khan Yunis, 30,000 in Rafah. Now Tel Aviv turns to Gaza City with possible expansion to other remaining sites. Is there anything left of Palestine's Gaza after Israel's military aggression? After 85,000 tons of bombs have been dropped, over 60,000 lives lost, over 90% of the population displaced, and 70% of its buildings reduced to rubble, while starvation has been imposed by Tel Aviv, what remains?